everybody, today we are going to cook some salmon patties. Now, this is something that I ate a lot growing up. People probably ate growing up, but I will tell you, the first time I cooked this, I was like, what in the world? But it is delicious and it's fast to make and it's very good. Today I'm going to serve it with like some little fried cornbread patties and some pinto beans. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and like I said, this is the first thing that freaked me out years ago when I first cooked this, but it doesn't bother me at all anymore. But when you first get it, you will see that there's like the skin and the little bones just fell out. You just take that stuff out, just take it right out, put it back in the can. I usually do this in the sink, but I'm doing it here so y'all can see. I just kind of take that little skin off, remove all this as much as you can. It's certainly not going to hurt you if some gets in there, but I try to get most of it off because I am a little bit picky about that. But like I said, this is, and this is the Alaskan salmon. I just read today that some of the other salmon is not as good for you. The Alaskan salmon is gonna have less pollutants in it versus the Pacific. And that was something I did not know. But that was good. I looked in my cabinet, I was like, I did get the Alaskan. I didn't know for sure that I had. But I'm just kind of removing the skin. I know that I have all those little bones out. And you know what? The bones actually would not hurt you if somewhere in there. They're very, almost like they just crunch up into nothing, but I get them all out. Try to get as much of this little black skin out. Like I said, if a little bit's in there, it's gonna be hard to get it all out, but you do the best you can. And as you see now, I've just got a lot of this flaky salmon here. And I'm gonna kind of pinch it up here. Kind of really trying to check to see if there's any more bones or anything, because I don't particularly want those little bones in there, even though I know they will not hurt you if a little bit stay in there. They'll just cook down and they're very soft. But anyway, once I kind of mash this up and kind of see that I've got all the stuff out I want to get, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this away. And I am going to, let me wash my hands off a little bit and think about all that. It's so simple. There's really just a few things to do, and then you just put a little bit of oil in the pan, cook it side to side. But today I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon on it. Just a little bit. I actually don't always do lemon. I'm gonna do a little bit of that. I am going to cut up a little bit of chives, little green onions in there. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. You always put a little egg in there, a raw egg, because that's your binder. And sometimes I use flour, and the last time I made them, I actually didn't, because number one, it kind of saves on the carbs. And also I noticed that the egg held it together fine, that the flour and everything makes it sticky. I have a little bit, but what I'm gonna do is once I put them in the pan, I put a little bit on that top once they're already in the pan, just kind of give it that little bit of crust and only on one side. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this little bit of green onion I've done. I've already done a little bit of lemon juice. I'm gonna do just a little bit to taste, salt and pepper. A little bit of each of that. This is so easy, and it's pretty healthy. And it's so easy to do. Like I said, it goes with a lot of things. I'm from the South, so I kind of, then look, you just kind of mix it together here. So I tend to cook things like this. Fried chicken's one of my favorite things to make. I know it's not that great for you, so I don't cook it very often. But this is something I kind of feel good about, because you're really not deep frying it. You're kind of searing it in just a little bit of oil, and you can use a little bit of spray olive oil, or whatever. Today I'm actually going to use some cholesterol-free. What exactly did I get? I saw that the other day. It was a Mazola corn oil, cholesterol-free. And usually I would probably go with the canola oil, but I guess that is a corn oil. But once I kind of get this up, so you could actually make patties now, because that egg is kind of your binder, really, to where you can actually just kind of now make you a little patty. And if my skillet was hot, which it's not yet, I would just put that in there. And then as they're cooking, I pat it with a little bit of flour on top. So I am gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pause for a minute, get my skillet hot, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I have my skillet good and hot. I've made up most of the patties, and all I do is I just kind of, make a little, and the good thing is that egg is that binder. Like I said, I really didn't have to use flour, and I've learned in the past that flour makes it super sticky, and the egg is just right. I got a little bit extra here, so I'm just gonna make one little small one, or I guess I could add it to something. We'll just add it to that one. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna gently set them in here. In my skillet that's already a little bit hot, and I probably have about 4 to 5 tablespoons of oil in here. And I'm just gonna gently set them in there, each one. And maybe my cameraman can come over here and show these here, or maybe he can see them there. And this is where I probably get a little bit of flour, and just so I have that little crust on one side, I kind of pat just a little bit on there so that one side has a little bit of crust to it. And that's all I'm gonna do is kind of brown it on each side, kind of cook it. I'm gonna say about 7 minutes on each side, but we're gonna see how that goes. I have it on probably a pretty low to medium heat, more towards the low heat. And just let it cook for a few minutes on this side, and you'll kind of know as the edges get browned when to flip it over and let it brown on that other side, and then it is done. So we'll be back in just a minute. We'll show you this finished product. Okay, you can see now they've been cooking about 5 minutes, and I've flipped a few. I'm fixing to flip these other two. And you just that one fell apart, no problem. Just smash it back together. This other one, just kind of flip them. Look how nice and golden they're looking. And now the little flour side's down, and this looks nice and brown and crusty, but that other side will be really nice too. And these will be ready in about another 5 to 7 minutes. And we'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay, while we're waiting on these to cook a few more minutes, I was going to show you how, if you do not have any tartar sauce or anything, I like a little bit of tartar sauce on the side of my salmon patties, or some kind of little dipping sauce, and I just make it myself. I have some mayonnaise and some pickles here. You could add maybe some onions if you wanted to. I never do chopped up onion. I just do mayonnaise and pickles. So I'm going to take probably a really good scoop of mayonnaise. Matter of fact, I'm going to do 2 of those, so I have plenty of that. And then I have some, these are actually some bread and butter pickles. I'm gonna just chop these up real small, small as you can. Just chop those up real little. And I'd probably do 3 or 4 of these little pickles, but it's really to your taste, however much you want to put in there. I usually add a few just till I think, that's probably good enough. I'll probably do 4, I think. That. One more. And then, after I put my little pickles in there, I always, to thin it, I pour a little bit of pickle juice right in there. Probably a couple of teaspoons. Probably a couple of teaspoons, and just kind of stir that up really well. And I feel like I've got a great homemade little tartar sauce that's great with the salmon patties. So there is how easy that is. I've already made my pinto beans in the crock pot earlier, waiting on my salmon patties, and I'm gonna make some cornbread fritters, and we'll be done. Okay, I'm now going to take my salmon patties out. They are done, and they are just golden brown. Just cooked them about, like I said, probably 5 to 7 minutes on each side at a low to medium heat. And you can kind of just eyeball that, and this is the finished product. Like I said, I have my pinto beans. I'm going to make some cornbread patties next, which is really just, I'm gonna make some cornbread mix, and I'm gonna pour it like I would a pancake and make some little cornbread patties to go with this wonderful salmon patties and beans and my homemade tartar sauce, and just an easy little dinner. So Y'all give it a try, and thank you very much. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hey everybody, we're back. I just took a cornbread mix and I mixed it up according to the directions, and I'm now gonna make just some simple fried cornbread patties. And I've put maybe a tablespoon and a half of oil, just enough to coat this. You can also spray it with some Pam or however you do that. And I'm gonna pour it like I would a pancake. Pour a little in there. And just as it bubbles all over, browns around the edge, just like you would a pancake, that is when I will flip it and take it out, and I will have with our salmon patties and our pinto beans, we'll have our cornbread patties, and that will be our southern dinner for tonight. So I thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to show y'all this one that I flip in a minute, and I hope that y'all will try this. It is an easy, I feel like a very healthy meal. And I think it'll be something, if you haven't tried it or shied away from it, it's something that's very easy to make and healthy, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me see if I can flip this one in just a minute. It's not quite ready because it's not quite bubbling all over, but it's getting there. It really, on this one, I kind of turned it up medium a minute ago, and my first one kind of cooked a little too brown, so I've turned it down a little bit. I'm gonna see if that helps. You know, you just kind of have to, almost like pancakes, try it a couple of times. This one's not quite ready to flip, but when it is, when it bubbles, like I said, you can see the bubbles all over and the heat is good dispersed, and it starts drying around the edges. We're gonna flip that. And I'm actually gonna try that now. I made a little mess, but look at that. Just like a little cornbread pancake. It just cooks right up, and I'll make several of these and line them on my plate, and it is just, you know, easy to eat and not have to heat up the whole oven, and just complete our meal. So once again, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Thank you.